Today we are going to talk about reproduction in organisms. Here you see all living beings reproduce, whether plants or animals, they give birth to young ones. See, fish lay eggs while the hen hatches the eggs and the mother human being gives birth to a young baby. The period from birth to the natural death of an organism represents its lifespan. Lifespan of mayfly is 1 day. Banyan tree is 200 to 300 years. People is around 2000 to 3000 years, while in a dog it's 10 to 12 years and in a tortoise it is 150 to 200 years. So in nutshell, the lifespan of an organism varies from species to species. What is reproduction? It is defined as a biological process in which an organism gives rise to young ones similar to itself. The offspring grows, matures, and in turn produces a new offspring. It enables continuation of species generation after generation. There is a cycle of birth, growth, and death. Reproduction is categorized into two types, namely the asexual and the sexual. When offspring is produced by a single parent without the involvement of gametes, the reproduction is called asexual. When two parents of opposite sex, that is a male and a female, participates in the reproductive process and also involves fusion of male and female gametes, it is known as the sexual reproduction. The vegetative reproduction is usually in plants, and new plants or individuals are produced from the vegetative parts of the plants. The newly formed individuals are genetically identical to the parent plant, very common in the flowering plants. Here we see in potato and in ginger vegetative growth. Similarly, in the bulbil of agave, leaf buds of bryophyllum and water hyacinth, the offset, which is a vegetative growth. Coming to a problem, ginger is multiplied vegetatively by means of bud, tuber, corm or rhizome, and the correct answer is the rhizome. Vegetative reproduction is of two types: the natural vegetative reproduction, which is by roots. A portion of the root breaks and gives rise to a new plant, as seen in the Albergia sisu, sweet potato, tapioca, dahlia, and asparagus. By underground stem, a portion of underground stem bearing bud forms a new plant, as seen in rhizome. Example is banana and turmeric. Corn, example is gladiolus or colocasia. Bulb, example is garlic and onion, and tuber, example is potato. By creeping stem, example runners. Stolons, example strawberry. Offset, example is Eichhornia. And here we see stolon, which gives rise to a new plant vegetatively. By aerial shoots, example is opuntia and sugarcane. By leaves, walking fern, bryophyllum, begonia, streptocarpus, centpolia. By bulbils, fleshy buds which produce new plants, that is agave, oxalis, chlorophyllum, etc. By turions, fleshy buds in aquatic plants, example potamogeton or urticularia. Here we see runners which also gives rise to new plant body. This is the bud in the runner and the internode and the node. The side stem, which is the runner, grows out from a bud at the base of the main stem. Here then it develops into roots and a new plant develops from the buds of the runner. Similarly, the tuber, it's the swollen root. New shoot is given, old stem and buds. Artificial vegetative reproduction. Cutting is part of it. Senseviera is propagated by leaf cuttings. Stem cutting are employed in case of rose, duranta and bougainvillea. Root cuttings are used in blackberry and raspberry. Here we see that artificial vegetative reproduction is by cutting. Here the parent plant is there and a part of it is cut by the blade. Sharp edge is there and it is planted again, and from which the new plant emerges. Layering. A lower branch is bent down and a ring of bark is removed. This part is covered by soft soil. Within 2 to 3 months, the root develops. This branch is cut off and grows independently. Example, lemon and grapes. Here we see that the branch is cut off and the branch is then again put into the soil, and when the roots develop, the main branch is cut off and let the other part grow independently. Types of layering. The tip layering. Tip of the current season shoot is bent in the sloping hole. Example is blackberry or raspberry. Serpentine layering. The basal branch is pegged in the soil at several places. Example is clematis. Mound layering. Basal part of the lower part is bent down and the tip is kept outside the soil. Currant and gooseberry. Air layering. A ring of bark is removed from an aerial shoot. It is covered by grafting clay with small quantity of root promoting hormone and wrapped in polythene. After 1 to 3 months, the roots appear and the shoot is removed to be used for planting. Example is lychee or pomegranate. Micropropagation is another way of artificial vegetative propagation. It is the raising of new plants from a small plant tissue with the help of tissue culture technique. Tissue culture is the technique of maintaining and growing cells, tissues, etc., and their differentiation on artificial medium under aseptic conditions inside suitable containers. Say this is a petri dish wherein the plants are grown, providing with suitable conditions of environment and nutrients.